alternator and motor mount bracket have to come out. This is a 2007 Nissan Versa S model. The S model is just a trim package. They're all pretty much the same in the engine performance side of it. Came leaking from the water pump, and it got me curious because when I looked at the water pump, it looked fairly new, as if it had already been replaced recently. This is not factory. This is aftermarket. So technically that water pump is not bad. You gotta remove this motor mount here. Pretty simple to figure out. I'm gonna give you an explanation of bolt by bolt. And to work more comfortable, you remove the alternator. Can it be done with the alternator still in place? Probably, yeah. But I don't want to attempt it. I like working comfortable. So from the top, it's a little uncomfortable to see. So I peel this wheel fender back out of the way, and that gives me access inside this fender well, right? You remove your belt, which by the way was not fun to do on this one because whoever recently replaced this water pump stripped out the bolt that you tension the belt with on the tensioner. It's stripped out all the way around. So it's supposed to be a 14 millimeter, but this one's stripped out. 13 or 14 won't fit it. I had to put some locking pliers on it and get that off, and I have to do the same to put it back on. Anyways, right above your AC compressor is your water pump, and this one was leaking from there, right? So again, recently somebody tried to replace this water pump, and I was looking real close. Now I'm gonna show you all the scarring on the block itself. It's real important to take compressed air and blow out all the trash from inside the threads before you put a new one in it. But what I really want to show you guys is here. You see right, let me see if I can point at this. Right there where my finger's pointing. And then a little bit further up, about right here. Look at all the gashes in the aluminum block. And that's why it was leaking. That's why it was leaking. Somebody took chunks out of it. Literally took chunks. You can see right there a chunk. You can see right here a huge gash. Another gash right there. Little chips here. Somebody took some chunks out of this thing. So when you put the new water pump on, and you put the gasket, it's highly likely to leak. Now the good news is, this is not part of the engine block on these cars. This can be unbolted here. It's not a fun one to get out, but it can be unbolted, can be removed. Your thermostat's on the opposite end over here. and then you would replace that whole entire piece that the water pump attaches to and the back side the thermostat attaches to. It's an aluminum bracket, so to say, that bolts to the side of the engine block. And so it can be replaced, y'all. And on this one, I'm highly gonna recommend it. Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna leak from right here. That's where it was leaking from. That's where it's gonna keep leaking from. Again, who would have gashed that and why, I don't know. Be careful who you take your car to. A lot of these guys simply aren't qualified to be touching your car. It's gonna need a new tensioner too, because this is completely stripped out. You can see it right there. And on the other side, completely stripped out. So when you try to put a wrench on that, which should be a 14, and try to put a 14 wrench, it just spins, stripped out. Now I've done both the 14, that's a 6-point wrench, and the 14 and a 12-point wrench. This is 13, and it would have to be forced on there, like hammered on there. So anyways, that's the situation with this car. I'm recommending to the owner that this whole entire bracket right here be replaced, or I don't want any liability if this thing leaks, because no matter how much glue I put on that or new gasket, that aluminum's been damaged. So be careful who you let work on your car. They will cause more trouble than what it's worth. Cheap work ain't good, good work ain't cheap. There's no excuse in the world for having done that to that piece, to having gashed it up the way they did. And that, whoever took that water pump off should have used a razor blade to scrape it off, a little bit of sandpaper, and never have gashed it. But it is what it is. I'll let the customer know and we'll see what he wants to do. Anyways, anybody thinking about doing this job on a 2007 Nissan Versa water pump job, any questions, hit me up below. Peace out.